Delightful. Oh, Tinder ad. I got a Tinder ad.
You got a Tinder ad. Lovely. I've never used Tinder in my life.
Oh, I've used it. I got banned.
Why?
Oh, well, it's a long story. Basically, I basically asked my friend, my female friend, to write my profile, and I said, go ham on it. And she came back with the most heinous, racist, sexist, monogamous shit ever. And I was like,
Oh.
okay. And I basically took a bunch of screenshots of the conversation going, look, here's why I did this. This is why my profile is this. And apparently that's not justification enough to Tinder to go and allow it. So they banned my account.
Can we just start the podcast off with that in it?
Yeah, sure. Hello. Welcome, everyone.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a new year and a new episode of Thoughts, Feelings, Emotions.
I need to set up a new Tinder profile.
This new Tinder profile. I'm your host, Dan Weller, and I'm joined with you, as always, by Danny Frankham.
What up? 2021.
Let's start the year off being happy, because we ended last year very miserable. If you saw the last episode, wouldn't recommend it.
I do. I had fun. I laughed a couple times whilst editing it at my own jokes. Yours were debatable.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Yeah. You're welcome. I love my life.
Yeah, me too.
I may have not loved my life in that very moment, but I do love my life.
Well, as it's a new year, we are going to start this week's podcast episode off with our New Year's resolutions. So what is your New Year's resolution?
Well, it's one of those real easy ones that no one ever does. It's basically get slightly more fitter.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. So I'm just going to try and I'm not going to go, I'm going to go to the gym every day. I'm going to, because the biggest reason why people fail New Year's resolutions is because they set this goal and then it's so high that they never reach it and then they feel let down. And once they don't reach it, they never go and continue it. So mine's just going to be like step by step, basically. Maybe like maybe an hour a day. Maybe an hour every 2 days, something like that. Just something to keep me active rather than being sat at home on my ass, because I am the heaviest. I'm not heavy, but I'm only like 10 kilograms heavier than I have been. And normally I'm like 70 kilograms. I'm like 80 kilograms at the moment. And it's just like, I need to get back into it. Because I was doing it a lot before the pandemic. And then the pandemic hit and I was just like, why would I do it?
Yeah, I'm sort of the same. I need to start going gym. Although I'm very light and I seem to keep losing weight. Maybe it's not a very good thing. I'm like 10 kilograms lighter than I normally am, but I have no muscle mass.
Are you going to the concert toilet and putting your fingers down your throat?
No.
Then you're fine.
That's fine then. My New Year's resolution is to try to organise my time better.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and it's
like remembering to do this podcast.
It's not like I forgot about it just an hour before we start recording.
No.
No, not
I
at
didn't
all.
just remind you as the time came up and was like, Dan, does this time still work? And you were like, yes, that time works.
That never happened. I don't know what about.
We take a week off and you're already fucking forgetting it exists.
Oh, what day is it? I would have forgotten.
To be honest, I did kind of forget what day it was today. And I was like, oh, right, yeah, I have to go do stuff tomorrow. And then I was like, is it that day? No. This whole last 2 weeks has kind of just blended into one day for me.
Yeah, it's a pain, isn't it? Because like, it goes by so quickly. And like, oh, wait, it's over.
Yeah.
I'm back to work again. I don't want to be back to work again.
Yeah, my sleep schedule's been so fucking over the place. Like, my average wake up time is like 12 in the middle of the day.
Oh, I never have that.
Yeah, but I now have to reset my clock by about 6 hours to actually get up when I need to go to work. And I've been going to bed at like 5 in the morning every day, so I'm just like... Ugh.
Oh, you should not be doing that.
I've basically swapped, because I normally wake up at like 6, but now I've been going to bed at like 6. So my sleep schedule's all kinds of fucked.
Yeah, I've got kind of a sleeping problem where as soon as I see daylight, I can't go back to sleep again. I can't sleep enough to do anything. I can only sleep in pitch darkness.
See, I think I've probably just got the because apparently there is a condition that people are like night people.
Yeah,
I think I'm just a night person. So I think if I moved to like America or something where the time zone is different, I probably would just migrate into the American time system.
Yeah, you'd be
better.
fine. You're still good. You're still good.
Yeah.
Bed.
I'd go to bed at a normal time in a reasonable hour, but in the UK, I'm fucked because it's just like, our sleep schedules are all out of whack with the time zone that we're in. So I think if I moved to America, I'd be fine. But I don't, and I don't want to because America is a hellhole.
Okay, we're going there already at the start of the year. Right, let's go on to our next topic of the podcast, which is, are you a sexpert?
Welcome everyone to Are You a Sexpert, where I give Dan a Urban Dictionary definition of a sex term and he has to tell me what it is. And if he gets close, I give him a point. If he doesn't, we just don't give him a point.
Yay. How many points am I on? 2, or not?
2 for 2, I think.
No, I think it was 2
Right.
for 3.
No, we've done it 4 times. Someone in the comments, tell me, because I can't remember and I don't want to go back. Dan, what is a New Year's gong?
A New Year's gong.
Mm-hmm.
G-
I thought I'd keep it
G-O-N-G.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm assuming it means like actual a gong where you smack it, right?
You would think that.
You would think that. So I'm assuming it's not, but I'm going to go over it anyway. I'm assuming a man gets slapped on the balls at New Year.
Does involve slapping. So I'll give you maybe half a point. Pre or post sex act where you stick your half erect cock in a mayo jar and slap it in a woman's ears while singing the final countdown. Typically reserved for the countdown, the final 10 seconds of New Year's Eve, but it can be used to count down other special occasions. What did you do for New Year's Eve? Me and the old lady brought in the new year with the reverse cowgirl followed by the old New Year's gong in time for Dick Clark's countdown.
Lovely. I will
Mhm.
not be doing a New Year's gong anytime soon. Mainly because start of the year. Haha.
There's always the end of the year, Dan.
Okay.
There's always enough time to find you a lucky lady or a lucky man, I don't know your preference, to
Now do I, to be honest.
do the old Kong Gong New Year.
Right, well, thank you for that.
What a way to start the fucking year, man.
Let's move on to the next topic of the evening, or next section of the evening, which is headliners. And this is the section where we go through the best headlines of the week and give you our opinions. So the first one is they found another monolith in Texas.
Oh boy, more.
Yeah,
What?
so the first monolith that appeared in Utah, then appeared somewhere else, There's now a new one in Texas.
Woo.
The aliens are monitoring the Earth, and they're going to blow it up.
Hell yeah. I mean,
It's about time.
yeah. I mean, Dan, this whole trend was so last year. You need to get with the times.
Haha, funny joke.
Oh my god, your formatting on this webpage is...
I just couldn't be bothered, alright? Calm down, big man.
Monoteeth. Why did it auto-change to monoteeth?
Because it's got one tooth, even though it's not spelt that way on the document. This is great content for a podcast.
Hell yeah. There we go. Fixed it.
Right, yeah. Aliens taking over. That's about it. Just want to bring it up because we don't have that.
We
many
touched upon it
topics.
last year, and now we're starting the year how we ended the year. Monoliths.
Yes. Let's move on to the streaming and movie news. And the first one is MGM might go up for sale.
Yeah, so this was an interesting thing. MGM, the people who do a lot of movies, like one of the oldest in Hollywood, James Bond and other things, was apparently floating the idea around to sell James Bond so that they could recoup their money and stuff. But now it's come under like speculation that MGM is potentially going to be going under the hammer themselves and might sell. And oh yeah, they also apparently did the Sylvester Stallone Rocky Pictures, the Hobbit trilogy.
I thought James Bond was Sony.
Yeah, but it's like they're like the production company.
Right.
They like make because when they have the flashing on the screen, it's like all the other companies that are a part of it.
Oh yeah.
Like
It's been a
Sony
while.
owns the rights to James Bond, I think, and then they I think MGM may be under Sony. I can't remember. Oh, like Pink Panther and The
Are they?
Handmaid's Tale apparently.
Oh, okay.
MGM is actively trying to sell off the studio for investment banks, Morgan Stanley, and they're basically valuing themselves at 5.5 billion, which I mean, fair enough.
I mean, I'm priceless, so
Yeah. They're basically saying that a streaming service or a company wanting to expand its reach in streaming will be willing to pay the extremely high number for its content.
Which
Which I mean,
true. Every single James Bond film.
well, Netflix is they're like trying to sell No Time to Die for like 600 million. So
Wait, what do you mean? Wait, what's
well,
happening?
because they were trying to they were trying to like sell the movie not the movie rights, but the like distribution of like get a streaming service to pay 600 million to have it exclusively on their platform so that they didn't have to worry about the movie pandemic theaters and stuff. So they could at least make their money back without having to worry about sold on a streaming service for anything. Like it's basically a safety net because they'll sell it for 600 million, make their money back, and then every other thing of the movie, if it doesn't make any money off it, they're not fine because all like Tenet, Wonder Woman, Pixar's Mulan and Pixar's Soul and Mulan and stuff all haven't really made money by releasing on streaming services because they're such big budget films, and like James Bond is no different. It's like 200 million or something for that film.
But what
So,
streaming service would want to pay for that?
Netflix or Apple were like the big contenders Because Netflix loves to just burn money, and Apple has all the money in the world. So
I suppose technically a lot of people would actually buy Apple TV just to get James Bond.
Amazon could buy it if they wanted to. Like they'd have a big chance of being able to buy it, but they probably might not be. But yeah, it's an interesting.
Be interesting. See what happens. I kind of do hope it does go to Amazon Prime because
You own that.
I own it and you get it free. Lovely.
But yeah, I don't think Disney would be allowed to buy it because they've just bought Fox and they're already like 50% of the actual movie production industry at the moment. So
Yeah, I think Disney are not going to be able to buy anything for a very long time.
oh no, they will be. They'll just use their advanced money and wealth.
Oh yeah, pay off the lawyers, pay off the government. Haha.
Well, the worrying thing is that with all movie theaters and everything probably ending up going to shut down if they can't get movies in, is the horrible realization that movie studios can probably just go in and buy the movie theaters and then exclusively show their movies in cinemas and not have anyone else. And then you'd have to drive miles and miles to watch a Warner Brothers film or a Disney film, depending on if your cinema gets unlucky and gets bought out by one of them.
Oh, that's
Yeah, it's a dark, bleak future for the movie industry if that happens.
Let's go on to something more positive. There's going to be 6 DC movies a year, or up to 6 DC movies a year.
Yeah, this is not a good thing.
I know, I was joking.
Seeing as they're stumbling to make even their one movie that they released this year good, and they've got Justice League coming out this year that's going to be, well, it looks like a train wreck, but the DC
It's
fans
a Snyder cut. It looks brilliant. Of course it does, because every DC fan loves a Snyder cut.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter recently on New Year's, the DC Snyder verse was trending because they released a picture of Wonder Woman fighting Steppenwolf, and apparently that's justification to have Zack Snyder take over everything and just make his universe. My God. I don't get this hype around this movie. It's not going to be good because
No, I don't know.
you have previous experience of Batman v Superman and Man of Steel as what Zack Snyder can do. And every other Zack Snyder movie. He makes some good-looking movies, but that's about it. There's no substance or character to any of them, and you want substance and characters to the most iconic superheroes in the world.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, the reason Marvel is succeeding is not because their characters were A-listers. It was because they made them A-listers. They made them interesting enough to become A-listers. You don't just ride off the coattails of having A-list characters with no background or substance, which is what they were trying to do, and hopefully they're trying not to do.
Yeah, I mean, it all comes under like DC are just trying to be Marvel without putting the effort into it.
Yeah.
But
But
it doesn't work like that, does it?
yeah, this is them saying basically we're going to split our movies that we're releasing to some streaming, some theatrical, and we're going to have up to maybe 6 movies a year now. So they're going to try and pump out more movies than Marvel does. That's going to be a recipe for success, seeing as they could
Yes.
barely manage to get... How long was it between Batman of Steel and Batman v Superman? 4 years? Because it was
Yeah, something like that.
2012
3.
and then 2016, same year as Captain Civil War.
Yeah.
So yeah, 4 years between that, and then they released Suicide Squad, Batman v Superman, and then Wonder Woman came out, and a bunch of other mostly garbage. And now they're going to keep pumping out more garbage, and hopefully by sheer quantity, they're going to have to go against quality.
No.
But I mean, I don't know. If Wonder Woman 1998 or 1998 is anything to go by, it's not looking good for them.
Well, I haven't seen the film yet. Hopefully I will one day.
I keep telling you, Dan, turn to the dark side.
I will never turn to the dark side.
Basically, I watched it illegally because it's not out in the UK and I can't be asked to fucking wait because the internet just doesn't give a shit about spoilers at this point. And I'm just like, well, fuck you. If you're not going to release it in the UK, I'm going to just pirate
But it's
it.
in the cinemas in the UK.
And also, anyone thinking I'm a Disney fanboy, I did the same for The Mandalorian. Because it was bullshit. So I just find it stupid to do this sort of release schedule where you only release it in America and selected other countries and you don't release it at the same time. It's a dumb system. It just promotes piracy. And if you don't want people to pirate it, don't do that stupid schedule.
Yeah, that's true, I suppose. That's probably another reason why it's losing so much money in the box office. On top of it being bad. Anyway,
Disney's Pixar's Soul also released at the same time on the same day, at least in the UK, and whenever it went on to HBO Max. And it's also already a better movie because it's actually decent.
yeah, okay, there we go. I will watch it one day when I have time.
I wouldn't say rush out and watch it, but it was okay for just a movie. And it was available in the UK.
Anyway, let's move on to the gaming/tech news. So the first one is there's lawsuits for Cyberpunk 2077.
Yep, the inevitable lawsuits of angry gamers across the world going, I want my money back for fake advertising and whatnot,
Yeah.
which is understandable. I mean,
However, most of them are getting their money back anyway.
yeah, but it's also like hurt feelings. They shouldn't have to return their money. They should just be like, oh, whatever. People just love the lawsuit in America because it's so easy to do.
I feel like I won't get anywhere.
Oh, I'm sure they'll have to pay out some money for fake advertising because it is.
Is it fake advertising?
It wasn't showing the actual product because they were showing PlayStation, like on the official PlayStation YouTube channel. They showed like high quality, high running.
Right.
And they said it was like,
things.
yeah, and they were saying that it was like real time in game graphics when it was clearly the PC version, or at least the PS5, or at least the PS5 version. But yeah, still not back on the PlayStation Store yet, so.
And it probably won't be for another year. Because there's a lot of bugs need fixing for the high quality standard that is the PlayStation Store.
Yeah, well, they don't let porn in, or porn games in. Apparently Nintendo does, though. And Xbox is also clamping down on porn games, so.
Oh no, what a shame. What am I going to do now? God,
Yeah,
PC.
so the only, out of all the companies that you would think would allow porn games, Nintendo is the one to actually let it happen.
Yes, the family console.
Yeah, I mean, how are those kids going to learn about sex? Through anime, Dan.
Yes, anime is way better than school or parents.
Most anime is set in schools with
Yep.
it's clearly underage girls, but are 800 years old for some odd reason.
To make it legal, that's why. Anyway, moving on. The first smartphone has been released. The Mi 11, featuring the Snapdragon 888 processor. Stupid name. It's the first
Yay.
5nm processor in a smartphone. And it's been released in China, and the global variant is to be released in a few weeks.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's very fast, as you would expect for a 5nm CPU or system on a chip.
I'm just waiting for the version 3 of the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold. Oh, also I managed to sell my Flip, so
Oh, you did sell it, did you? How much did you get it for?
yeah, $621.99.
That's not bad. Wasn't scammed then?
No, I got the money.
That's good. Yeah, I think I won't get a new phone until under display camera technology is perfected. Because that's the one thing I'm just there like, I don't want that whole punch camera. I don't want to see my camera.
I don't hate it.
I want an uninterrupted display. I mean, I could live with it, but if I don't need a new phone, I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah. Oh, I could wait, but they haven't even announced the new generation of Folds, so.
You just know it's going to come out this year or next year.
I mean, I don't know if it will come out this year.
We'll wait and see.
Because I think Samsung is focusing on their like current line phones, not their like obscure line of phones. Because there was just rumors that they were gonna bring their pen version to their standard phones rather than just their Note series.
I did remember that, yeah, for the S Ultras.
The Ultra phones as well. So
Talk about flip phones. There was rumors of Apple releasing their foldable phones this year or next year.
also rumors of Apple going into the car industry.
Yes. Who wants to buy an Apple car? Anybody? Nope. Cool.
A lot of people apparently. Also, apparently, Apple had the opportunity to buy Tesla, like in the early stages of Tesla's conception, and they turned it down.
Oh wow. They probably should have done it because that is. No, Tesla need to acquire an actual car manufacturing company because the actual build quality and the quality control of their cars isn't good.
No, but they have apparently made over 500,000 cars, which is really, really low compared to what Elon Musk was promising like 5 years ago when he was saying he would be, by the time 5 years from now, they'll have made over 100, like they'll have made over 10 million cars or something like that.
Well, yeah, it's because they haven't. They're not may have been made or well known for their standards of cars. Like many other cars will have much better quality materials, better quality control.
To be honest, I've been in a Tesla. They're fucking delightful.
They are great, and the best thing about the Teslas are the software. The whole electronic side of everything is amazing.
It's generally really comfortable in a Tesla. The leg space, I think it was in a one of the like standard cars, one of the like lower down like flat ones, not them boxy ones.
Yeah,
One
yeah,
of their
yeah.
like not their Roadster version, but their other
Model
like
S
sort
or
of
Model 3?
can't remember. Model S probably.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not talking about sort of like that. It's like, but there's some Teslas where bumpers randomly fall off, or there's like water getting into the seals, or there's just those kind of things, or maybe like the stitching on the leather isn't quite right. They got like, a lot of quality control problems. It's fairly likely that you'll get something wrong if you buy one, and the customer service isn't great,
Also, they hate unions.
and they hate
Like, they've
unions,
just-
and they haven't got a
they've
PR
s-
department now as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they got rid of it.
Anyway, let's shut the fuck up about Tesla.
Move on to the final topic is the PS5s are back in stock
Yay!
in various retailers or like I think Amazon game. They're all coming back in, rumored soon, and then they'll be out of stock within 5 minutes again.
Yeah.
So keep your eyes open, and if you want one, it's good luck getting one.
Spend 45 minutes on Amazon refreshing the page.
Yep, because the fun of that. Anyway, moving on to the next section of the podcast. Weird, Wacky, Wonderful World is back, and I have 4 topics for you. Are you ready?
I've not heard any of them.
All right, the first one is a man has changed his name to Celine Dion after having far too much to drink.
Not bad.
So
Is Celine Dion
singer.
the person? Yeah, I know that. Thanks, Dan. But she's the one who did Titanic's song
I think so.
and the Deadpool 2.
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, the parody of that, or not parody, but the parody of the James Bond theme song.
So apparently a 30-year-old man decided to change his name to Celine Dion after having few too many glasses of wine. Thomas Dodd, otherwise known as Celine, had the idea while watching one of the Canadian singer's concerts on YouTube over Christmas.
Oh yeah, I forget she's Canadian, and that's why Ryan Reynolds got her for Deadpool. Because Ryan Reynolds is Canadian and loves to just slot in Canadian people into those films.
He thought it would be a great idea to pay £89 to officially take her name, but completely forgot about it when the official deed poll documents landed on his doorstep on Wednesday. Once you receive the papers, you need to sign them before an independent witness to inform your relevant record holders before your name is considered changed. But Thomas has no plans to go back on his decision and hopes it might get him backstage at one of his idol's future gigs. But he admits he is dreading telling his bosses about his new moniker and that his mum has not seen the funny side of it.
Why doesn't he just make it so it's his middle name?
I don't know.
So he can keep his full name, have his first name, then put Celine Dion as his middle name, and then put his last name. And then it's all good. Then he fixes his problem if he wants to keep it. He's not backing out because he's still got Celine Dion as his name. It's just his middle name. It's a sort of cheaty workaround. There you go, mate. If you listen to the pod, there's your solution.
Yeah, it's Mr. Celine Dion. We got you covered. Although you've already changed your name now, so...
And if you message us, Dan will change his name to Celine Dion as well.
What? I never agreed to this.
Yeah, too late. You're drunk.
Am I?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you that in the future when it happens.
I don't know. I've never been drunk before.
Oh, yeah, of course.
What do you mean, of course? I never have.
Mm-hmm.
I don't drink.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Anyway, next topic. A bodybuilder who married a sex doll says she broke just before Christmas.
No!
And then there's a picture of him in a funeral with the sex doll.
Imagine that rising from the grave.
As well as him burying her in the sand on the beach, them having a lovely afternoon on a bench, and them in bed together and giving her a bouquet of roses.
I don't think this dude realizes that hole puncture repair kits are a thing. unless he proper tore a new hole in that thing.
A bodybuilder, Yuri Toluchio from Kazakhstan
Of course, it's Kazakhstan.
is now waiting to see if his wife called Margot can be repaired in time for Christmas, which is celebrated on January 7th in his country.
Oh, so he is going with the hole puncture repair kit thing. Either that or he's going to suddenly find out she has a twin sister.
She is broken, and now she is being repaired. She is in another city. When she recovers, it will be a gift for both of us. He did not explain how Margot had broken. There you go. There's various pictures on Instagram of showing them together, and he posted a video which showed him putting a ring on Margot's finger and members of the wedding party dancing and celebrating the occasion.
Oh, he had guests?
Yep, yeah, guests to his wedding.
Oh, were they
Very wonderful.
were they balloon animals?
I don't know. I don't think I want to know. Because if it's actual people, my faith in humanity has got slightly less.
Dan, it's love. You can't stand in the way of love.
Yep. Talking about love, Mum reckons she's found Jesus in Brussels sprout days before Christmas.
What? is Jesus appearing in food all the time? Like there are the
But the picture is brilliant. I gotta send it to you afterwards. It just made me laugh. It's just so stupid. It's like a dark circle with two dots and like a
look.
smudge
The
from
only
mouth.
Jesus that appears in a thing is the Jesus that appeared in that dog's ass. That is the only one I'll accept as divine intervention. I will not accept Brussels sprouts. I will not express toast. I will not express.
Oh, apparently she spared the Brussels sprout from the dinner table after she spotted she thinks of the likeness of Jesus Christ.
This is just her kids making up an excuse not to eat Brussels sprouts. Mummy, it's Jesus Christ. Don't make me eat it.
Shauna.
Oh my God, have you never read that word?
No, it's Shauna. I was like, oh, that's how you spell Shauna. Okay, Shauna Roberts, 34.
Wait, how is it spelled?
Sean Shaun. Sorry, Shaun.
Yeah.
AGH.
Shauna.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Oh dear. My pronunciation has clearly not changed since we last recorded together. So she did a double take as she prepared to chop the bottom of the vegetable when she spotted the holy lookalike. She called her children over, Jack and Michael Harper, 14 and
Kids
10,
went, Mum, have you been drinking? It's like 1 in the morning.
to show her discovery at the home
1 in the morning, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. God damn it.
at Waldham Abbey in Essex.
Oh, it's Essex? Oh, that explains it.
Yeah, exactly.
Clearly has been drinking at 1 p.m. in the morning.
I was taking out the sprouts, topping and tailing them, and putting a cross on the bottom when I saw the face. I remember thinking, oh my God, it could be Jesus, with it being so close to Christmas. And she also says she doesn't know if it's Johnny Depp or Jesus.
That's a big clarification there, love. I mean, one's a guy who loves prostitutes, and one's Johnny Depp.
Wow.
Historically accurate.
Wow. Okay. So before we get cancelled, let's move on.
How is that cancelling? Jesus was friends with a prostitute.
I
Mary Magdalene, wasn't it?
don't know. I don't know the story.
What was the lady who was the prostitute? Hang on, let me Google Jesus prostitute.
Anyway, I'll go on to the next topic while you're Googling this stuff. Pilots use a jet to draw a penis in the sky in support of a masturbating footballer.
Clearly over Jesus's prostitutes.
Clearly. So 2 pilots were under investigation for allegedly maneuvering their passenger jet through the air so it drew the shape of a penis in the sky. The phallic-like turns were captured on flight tracking software and were apparently a bizarre act of solidarity when the Russian football team's captain, the unnamed crew of Russian Podbedra airline, has reported to have flown the plane so that it drew a penis into back their country's team. Captain Artem Dizuba was suspended from international duty after footage showing him appearing to masturbate in bed was leaked online.
Right. Aha! Mary Magdalene as a prostitute. Boom.
Well, there we go. Anyway, so yeah, that's it.
See, I knew he hung around with whores. I mean, women of working class.
Oh my God.
Welcome to 2021, where sexism against sex workers will come back in fashion. Just so everyone knows, I'm not against sex workers. It's just,
You had to clarify it, didn't you? Because otherwise you're going to cancel.
well, yeah, because someone's going to get pissed at me for saying it. And I mean, I get it, but there's certain empowerment things that don't make sense to me, and selling your body to be empowered is one of them. Because the one thing is men always want sex, so men would just happily pay for sex, and so you're not teaching them anything. They're just
Excellent.
like, I get sex.
Thank you for the wisdom.
So I mean, it's your point. I'm sure there's a more nuanced way to say that.
We love your wisdom here at the podcast, as always. Thank you for listening. It's been, and we will look forward.
Also, don't watch the Belle Delphine sex tape. It's not that good.
Well, you've seen it.
I didn't pay for it, but it was leaked and it just popped up on Twitter, and I was just scrolling through, and it just went, and it's just basically her getting fucked from behind and then licking a dick for about 10 minutes.
Ah, okay. So wasn't very good then for first time.
I mean, it's not as weird as I thought it would be, which was like the only interesting thing that could have come out of it.
It's just
There was no like weird squid friend or
that's a
blood.
shame.
There was just standard sex, and I was just like, I didn't even watch the whole thing. I just scrolled through because it was like a supercut, and I was just like, oh, okay.
Thank you. Anyway, thank you for listening, and we will have a great 2021 together.
Check out Dan's Twitch, Willer It's About Time. Check out my Twitch at Frankenstein. Check out my YouTube channel at Frankenstein Gaming. Check out my Twitter at Frankenstein, and have fun. Bye.